Hey, Joe. You see me? Hear me? All that good stuff? I think so. All right, I'd start that new time. I think 8:30 is a little better. So I'm trying to eat a little breakfast here. A bagel. All right, cool. Cool. What are you up to today, Joe? Well, I can't keep up with uh, Jack. Man, he just runs live all the time, man. I don't know. It's cool, I guess. I just don't know how he does it. Sorry, I feel like I could get a better view of it in this camera, maybe. I don't know. There we go. But anyways, hey Tommy, OTS Railroad. How are you? Let's see here. Yeah, Joe. I don't know. I just feel like 7:30 was fine for me, but I feel like around that 8:30 mark is when more people were kind of coming in, and I don't know. So whatever. We'll try it at 8:30, see how it goes. If not, we'll either go back or we'll figure something else out. There's Artie. How you doing, Artie? Hey, Fred. Cool switching video over there the other day at the elevators. Artie.
Good, bud.
Yeah. Hey, Artie.
G'day, Dave. How are you? Hello, everybody. Good morning and evening and everything else like
that. Yeah. No. Maybe. Trying to say what I like better. That maybe. I don't know.
I think that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy. I'm definitely feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. I guess it was a flu. I don't know. But it had me down for a good week. It was worse than any flu I've ever had. John, 2618. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you in here.
Yeah. An interesting week. Yeah, I've been tearing my head out. I've got this. I was meant to go to court on Monday regards to my operation for my right hand because I'm starting to lose feeling in these fingers here from the erector I had last year, and the lawyers didn't get in contact with me or anything like that, so I was starting to stress out and had a phone call tonight, and they said that the insurance company's rolled over and they're going to pay for the operation. So I just got to wait till everything opens up down here now and get the paperwork and getting the hand operated on at long last.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah, only been waiting till.
Yeah. Tommy, yeah. Well, my doc still thinks it was COVID. I don't know. I got tested twice that week. Both times it came back negative, but they never did test me for the flu. But I had multiple of the classic symptoms of COVID, and so whatever. Who knows? But like you said, everything is COVID anymore. There's no flu. And honestly, for my job, it would have almost been, well, I shouldn't say, I don't wish to get COVID. Don't take it the wrong way. For the way my job handles it, I would have been fully paid for the time off without having to use my own time off and getting like FMLA paperwork and all that. If I would have tested positive for COVID, then I would have been totally paid and covered.
Yeah, that's the same thing here too. So, the company, if you work for a company and whatnot, the government foots the bill for it. So, we do get some sort of assistance, so we're not out in the cold. And that's going to continue on until things stabilise a bit, probably till the end of the year.
I just watching something with a bunch of construction workers, and well, a lot of people have been out there protesting in
down Melbourne.
Australia.
Well, let's put it this way: to what's been going on, there'll be probably only about 5-6% of those protesters that was down there that were actually construction workers. The rest of them are the freedom protesters and anti-vaxxers and whatnot that's been protesting down there. I mean, you can get those high-vis material in any $2 shop or whatnot, and I'll throw that on, make myself look like a construction worker.
That's true.
So the unions and that, the trade union movements and whatnot, they're all for the vaccination and whatnot, and they're like, look, we've got to keep our workplaces safe and keep the workplaces going. So if that's the way we got to go, that's the way we got to go. So there are a few things that I need to fine tune, but yeah, no, Melbourne's a very different kettle of fish. It's one of those places where, how would I say? Yeah.
Yeah, see you, Fred. Thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Yeah, mate. See you, Fred. Yeah, it's just one of those places where they're against everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Up here where I am, up in near Sydney, the way our vaccination rates go, and they reckon that we're going to hit the 90% mark by November.
Yeah.
We're going to be hitting the 80% about 11th of October. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right up here.
Yeah.
I'd rather be up here near Sydney and where I am than being in Melbourne. Melbourne is just, they're too hard-headed down there. Yeah. Yeah, we've had, g'day, Hillbilly. I've had a touch of the cold, but since I've had this COVID shot, it's sort of like kept it suppressed. I haven't had it that really that bad. I mean,
yeah.
So
they will stay pretty healthy up until that week there. I don't know. And it was just weird. It was very weird the way it happened.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, we just got to live with it. We just got to live with it and get used to it. Once everybody gets the jabs, I mean, it will be eventually get treated like a flu. Yeah. Eventually, if they can control and contain it, and then we can go back to normal life again. So, yeah, well.
Yeah. So I seen you were doing a bunch of wiring work on your layout.
Yeah, well, I've got some, I've been preparing some of the wiring that's going to feed into my main panel, because I'm going to make a main switching panel, so I don't have to be relying on the computer. Most of it's in there. I just found out that my other BD20s and the other AIU has gone missing somewhere between the US and here. So
your BD20s?
Yeah. So I've got to reorder it once I get the money down. But I just need that AIU panel for the block detection.
Yeah, so I have that panel. I have a few BD20s. I'm starting to kind of get some, so I can get, some of that going. I don't know how much Jeremiah I'm going to use to start, but we'll see.
G'day, Rick. How are you? I'm just going back. Honestly, Dave, I'm just going back to basics. Start from basics and work my way up from there. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you've been looking for. I mean, I like to have automation. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if you found it. You try to get information on YouTube, and a lot of people are going towards Arduinos, or they've added something else onto it, and it's like you get lost in it.
Yeah.
Finally worked it all out, and it's coming together slowly.
Well, I don't know that, like Fred, he left now, but Fred was actually running programs with your MRI and running scripts or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I don't know that I want to get into all that, but I wouldn't mind being able to run the block detection back to a main panel or whatever, so I can see it. Like, they're the old school panels where you have the lines and you have your yard and your, the layout drawn out so you know where the trains are at,
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of neat. I know there's ways to actually do like a big like touchscreen panel and stuff too. I've seen guys doing that. Now that's way out there. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, guys.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've got the sheet of plastic here. I'm still waiting for those toggle switches to arrive. The spring-loaded ones. They should be here.
Steve, that's
probably
funny.
towards the end of this week, Monday. That's the only thing I'm waiting for. What I have got, let me just try to find it. My place is organised chaos again.
Mine is always kind of back and forth. I try to keep things clean as I go, just because it just bugs me when things are all messy. I don't know. It's hard enough to find things the way everything's still half boxed up. And then when everything's a mess, I don't like it.
If it had teeth, it'd bite me. What I managed to get down to my local electronics shop at JCar, where I got that LED tester for you, is I've got this little to measure the current and the electricity power that's coming into your board, which I'm going to put on my panel. Let me just get it out. It's a simple installation. There you go. You got your volts up the top,
and
you got your current on the bottom.
That's cool.
And so I'm going to put this on my panel so I can actually have a look and see when I'm getting close to to my limit. So it only cost, I think it was $30 Australian, which is roughly about $25, and you get one backing plate like so. Or if you want to put it on the car.
Hey, I'd wear that, Anthony. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's how it mounts.
Yeah, they got mounts. So this is what I'm going to put in mine. And I mean, one of the issues is always this current and electricity voltage that you get.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I just looked at it.
Anthony, good morning, Wilmer. When we got to die this way. I got a dentist appointment. I get out of here. What's that? Yoke it up.
Yeah. So we got connection one is for your positive. Then you got your negative for your items that come in, and then that one goes to your battery power. So I see how I go with the panel. It's supposed to have some good weather this weekend, so I'm going to mask the panel up tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that 3mm Tamiya paint. I'm going to mark out where my schematics out.
Yeah.
Then spray paint it on Sunday morning. I've got some power switches here too that I'm going to put on as a main. Basically, main power switch, it lights up.
Okay.
And then I have a different one for my lights.
Cool.
So I can individually control it. Because it's going to be on two different voltages and two different power systems, I decided at least this way I can have full control of what I want to do on the layout. Yeah. So it's going to be busy. I want to try to get most of it done. I think I've got roughly about a month to get something finished. I've got to do that panel before I do the roundhouse. So I've got all the wiring prepped and whatnot. I'll just connect it straight up because I won't be able to do it in 8 weeks.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woman's having just a checkup. Well, that's good. It's good to get a checkup. Yeah, like I said, I got a busy day. So I got a dentist appointment. I got a haircut today. Doing this morning.
I've got to wait.
I'm going to be exhausted by the end of the day. I got so much going on.
Yeah. I've got to wait till the 11th before I can get my haircut.
The 11th? Yeah.
Everything's closed down to the 11th. So
my wife's cousin has her own shop and she cuts all our hair. I mean, we pay her and stuff. It's not a freebie or nothing, but she does a pretty good job. I think she does a pretty good job. So
yeah. Yeah, just my problem is, I got my own clippers and that, but because of the way my hands are, I can't hold it for too long. And it's like, no.
Well, you just gotta get the sides trimmed up a little bit, no?
It's getting.
It took a little too much off the top last time for you.
It just doesn't want to come back. I keep pulling too hard like this.
Pull this over top pretty soon.
Yeah. I've got to go and get my passport photo done, so it's all coming down.
Rick's gonna work that out last. So I never emailed you back, Rick. Yeah, we have to figure out somewhere to meet. Here's some bridges he was asked if I was interested in, and I just gotta meet him somewhere halfway or something, somewhere in the middle.
Okay. I miss being at work. I mean, I'll go to location for other side and just be
Steve,
stuck.
I don't know if that's how that works.
What's that?
I was talking to Steve. I just put a thing up there. He says, as long as I don't go to the doctor, I won't have anything wrong with me. I'm not sure that's how that works.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that all the time. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. I guess if you don't know you got something wrong, then you don't necessarily have something wrong, I guess.
Yeah, well, I know there's something wrong with me, and we're getting attended to. So, but yeah, I've got to go and get my passport photo done and get my passport uploaded because they're looking that we're opening up our borders on the 18th and 19th of December, so I want to be ready. And he's weight challenge too, don't you?
What's that?
You know the challenge that
challenge?
What?
I don't know what challenge.
Oh, it's a weight BMI challenge.
Oh, I don't know.
So who loses the most? So I think I can lose about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds off the beard.
Off the beard, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had it too long. It's time for a change.
Hey, seen the kills. Just stay up and hang with us for a little bit, eh? All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting going on. Just chit-chatting. Now, is that BMI challenge, was that a joke, or is that between some guys you know or other YouTubers or what?
Yeah, another YouTuber. Heath from Humanity Junction. He started a challenge about a month or two ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so someone's been in it, but we've got to try to beat what he loses. But I don't think I'm doing too well. I've got to a certain.
In your defense, it's hard when, like right now, you got to stay at home. You're not able to work because of your hand and everything else, and so it's kind of, it makes it harder because it's harder to get out. And when you're just sitting around, you're more, at least for me, when I'm just sitting around being lazy, I eat out of boredom, I guess, snack on things. So I don't know how you are, but I know that's how I am. I'll eat just because I'm bored. I'm maybe not even really hungry. I'm just bored.
Well, we've had some very nasty weather here lately too, so it hasn't been really all that that fun to be going out for walks.
Yeah.
There's any exercise. I mean, today wasn't too bad, but next few days is going to be good. So I'm going to get out a bit. But I've just got to the weight, and that's it. I can't lose any more.
Yeah.
And I've got these tablets from the doctors as well to help. But
yeah, keep walking. Walking will help.
Yeah.
When you can get out, anyways.
But I've got to lose at least enough.
Cut those carbs back. When I cut carbs back, that always helps me. I eat more protein and less carbs, and I get out and move. This is not a weight friendly hobby, man. It's easy. We don't do a lot of physical activity doing this hobby, so you tend to sit around a lot when you're working on things.
Oh, again, it's a construction stage when you're doing the timber and the lumber and doing all the framework. Yeah, you do a bit of physical work.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I need to look at losing at least another 30 pounds so I can go and sit for my pilot's medical so I can get myself current again. I can fly around instead of driving around. You get around places a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Than US. Yeah. So.
I get it, man. It's tough. I battled weight my whole life up and down. I like food, man. That's the problem. Not more than that. I like food, and I'm lazy by nature when it comes to. Like, I've never been a gym rat. Never really wanted to go in the gym and work out all the time and stuff like that. Up until I became a nurse, I was always doing real physical jobs, manual labor type jobs. So I was always able to stay pretty strong, and that kind of thing without having to go to the gym all the time. So. This job here, I mean, you move patients, you lift patients here and there, but it's not like a constant, like when I was driving trucks and unloading, the one company I drove for was called Cisco Foods, and we would deliver groceries and stuff to restaurants and that, but you unloaded all your stops with a 2-wheel dolly. It was very little pallet drops and stuff, so it's, you're not wrong, Steve. My wife's battling like crazy with that because she's permanently home now with her job and just trying to stay active and forcing herself to get up so many times throughout the day and take a little walk or do some type of exercising and that type of stuff. So it's definitely something. Hey, John, Scully Kill, Split Rock, how are you?
Great luck.
Lee from Anfield. CDP 1965. Good morning. Well, a bunch of you guys showing up this morning.
Everybody's waking up.
Yeah, that's kind of why I thought maybe I would move it to the 8:30 hour or something, just to see how it goes. I mean, I'm fine, I mean, I'm up to do it at 7:30, but I know it's a little later in the evening for you, Artie, but you seem to.
I'm usually up this time of the night. I mean, it's the only time I get some peace and quiet to do things. Plus, I'm still keeping my same, because of my work, if I go back to work, once I get back to work, I'll be up in these hours. So I'm still keeping my body clock working on the right time.
John, that's a good habit to get into, and when it gets colder outside, it's a little less enjoyable. I'm not a big fan. I'm a freeze baby as it is. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we've just been having a lot of gale force winds and freezing cold weathers, even though we haven't been snowing down here.
You guys get snow there? I don't know what your weather's like in Australia. You get snow?
Where I am, if you've ever been like down towards Atlanta and that, down in Jacksonville, Florida, basically, that's what my temperature's like here. But I'm so close to the mountain, up the highlands, we get a lot of snow up there.
Oh, okay.
And being on the coast, we get a lot of wind from Antarctica. See, we've been getting blasted from Antarctica for the last month now. And when we get those...
That's good, Anthony. Keep that up, man. That's going to be good.
Yeah, when we get those winds from Antarctica, it drops. The highlands get the snow, but down here it's not. G'day, James.
Hey, James.
We don't get any snow on the coast, but we do feel the cold from the snow here.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, we can get some pretty bad winters here.
Yeah, Creepy. He's not far from me up in the highlands. They've been getting some snow up there. He's about an hour's drive. Yeah, he's about an hour's drive from me.
That's not bad though. You've got some guys to get together, do things.
Oh,
there's one guy that lives about 45 minutes or something from me, but I don't know. He's kind of not doing much with the train stuff anymore. You know, that's kind of what we had in common, and we haven't really gotten together too much. But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, what's his name? Lives not an hour from you. Hey, Lee.
Hello, Dave. Hello,
How you doing?
Right, I can clock off now. I can go to bed.
Oh, thanks a lot, Artie.
Yeah.
Well, it's night shift. I can clock off now. Then the afternoon shift can take over.
Oh,
yeah, John. I got the one guy I was just talking about is about an hour away, and then Pappy from Trigagwan. We've met up a couple of times, but he's willing to drive around and stuff and meet up. He's probably, I don't know, 2.5 hours. He's down by Columbus, somewhere around that area.
All right, yeah.
Which is a couple of hours from me. So I'm sure there's other guys in the area here. I'd like to find a train club, but there's one on the other side of town, which doesn't sound like that far. But the days that they meet, I work the next day, and then it's just a pain in the neck. I went there a couple of times. It was just different. I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, well, I've only got one.
Just because it was on the side there.
Anywhere near where the earthquake was. Who are you talking to, Scenic Hills?
Oh, he's talking to me. Well, I didn't feel any tremors here. They said they felt tremors up in Sydney. I haven't spoken to Creepy yet. He would have got the tremors, but most of it was down in Melbourne, which is about 800 miles south from me. The epicenter was about 600 miles away from me. But I didn't feel anything here. But we do have a small fault line just up between me and Creepy's place. So I don't know. Maybe he's had it, but I didn't feel nothing here. I didn't feel nothing here. Yeah, we did have an earthquake here, and
you gotta reach out to that guy, John. Yeah. Yeah, we don't get much in there. There is a fault line under Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Here in the Great Lakes, and once in a while we get a little tremor. Very rare, though. Barely noticeable.
Greg would have felt it. You know, Greg from Midsummer Engage. He would have felt it. It was a lot closer to him.
Okay.
So I haven't spoken to him yet, so we'll find out Sunday.
Hey, Randall. Randall Ellison's there. Yeah, it's odd, man. Like I don't know. I'm kind of isolated. The weather here is not the best a lot of times throughout the year. We get a lot of cloudy days here in Cleveland, and the winters can be really rough at times. But we don't get the hurricanes. We don't get the tornadoes. We get one here and there, but not where I'm at. Earthquakes, all that kind of natural disaster stuff. We don't get a lot of that here, so I kind of take that over some of that other stuff in a way.
Well,
I was born and raised here, so it's just you're used to it. I guess it's what you're used to.
Well, you see where I am here, or even Sydney, locked down here, it's extremely rare for us to get earthquakes and tremors. But I mean, the plate shifts anyway, so there's nothing much we can do.
Yeah.
With that.
No, it's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, we are getting more and more stronger winds, but I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we had gale force cyclonic winds down here too, but I mean, you get used to it.
Mhm.
Tornadoes and the full-blown cyclones, no, they don't come down this far south.
Hey, Jason.
G'day, Jason.
Listening while driving. Well, thanks for listening while driving. Pay attention to driving. Drop in one. Stop. Drop a crew off at the train.
We are pretty lucky here.
Coming to Akron. Maybe we can meet for coffee. Yeah, when you coming, Scott? I am about, I think Cleveland's about 18 miles from Akron. And from where I'm at, it's probably less than a half an hour drive, you know, with traffic and stuff, depending on where you're talking about in Akron. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing what Cleveland's like. I mean, Cleveland and my area, Wollongong, they got one thing in common. They both got steelworks, steel mills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
not like it used to be, but we still have one down there. They a lot of work. Yeah. Hey, it was a good update. I was watching your update from, I don't know, it was a few days back. I was watching it yesterday.
I haven't hooked them up yet, Spritlock. I've only just got them in place, but I haven't got them wired up. I'm waiting for the NCE decoder for the signaling light decoder they got, Dave. The little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting them for my signals, and I'm going to see how it works with that DCC system. So,
maybe I'll take a look at those, Jason. Let me know what you got tonight or soon. I don't know. I saw some like dwarf signals on, was it eBay? It seemed like kind of inexpensive, but I don't know, like if it's probably just like simple, like with toggles and stuff. I don't know if you can automate them or anything like that.
I think they'll be just like what I've got here, which is just I'll just pull one out. I think I can get it out.
Okay, Randall, that's cool. Appreciate it.
Can't get it out. The dwarf signals that I've got is
you glued it in place, God, then, haven't you, Artie?
No, I think the heat got to it and it just,
swelled
bonded itself in.
Yeah.
It's a single lens. It's got red and goes to yellow, which I've got on the end of it. So it's made here in Australia.
I'm going to try and find the signals that we have here. These are, if I can find them. I have got them somewhere, but I don't know where.
Goodyear Heights. That is that old by the old
so this
San Hewitt area? Goodyear Heights.
So Rick's saying about, working the steelworks. You see, we occasionally get tremors from the steelworks here.
Oh, is that right? What's this from what they're doing or what?
Pardon?
What they're doing?
Yeah, well, they're working at full capacity at the moment, and because the last couple of nights it's been dead calm, so you can actually hear and feel it.
All right, Jason, now you have to explain all that stuff to me now.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason's like almost, between you and Jason, you guys are like single-handedly explaining this hobby to me, all this fancy technological stuff.
It starts losing you, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah. Hey, Jason, I don't know if you saw this or not. CDP 1965 said to drop them an email and let them know what you got. So there you go, man. And
yeah, well, I am going to use a combination of both, really. I mean, to come out the yards and that, it's going to be controlled by a dispatcher. And on the main line, it's just going to be basically a block system signaling, which is a lot easier because it all works automatically. But the problem is, Majority of our basic signals are the same, but then you got, excuse me, some signaling rules that are slightly different. I mean, Lee might actually have it over in England.
What's that, RT?
With the signals, like we have
Yeah,
like we still got the.
I've got the old triangle ones. I'm trying to find
Yeah, no,
them.
I'm not talking about the actual signals. I'm just talking about the prototypical signaling system that we run.
Oh yeah. We've got a different.
We still got the normal red, yellow, and green. But then you got these yard signals like what I've got here, where you got a flashing yellow on the bottom of it, which we call repeaters.
Yeah. I'll have to do a video of how our real railroads are with the signalling system.
We'll have to all tune in to Train Freak next time he has his sidetrack Sunday.
Yeah.
When's your next scheduled show, Jason? What's the date on that?
That's this Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his turn. Don't you guys take turns, kind of like we do on Track Tuesday, or are you guys always on together?
He just had his. It's Ray's this Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because he did his. He just did his. Because he had the contest with the bingo and everything.
Yeah.
That was just last Sunday, I believe. Hey, Darren. What's going on, buddy?
Well, we do have, as I said, we do have the little yellow flashing light on the bottom of, or doesn't always flash. We've got a little yellow light on the bottom of our signal.
So the third Sunday.
And when you're doing switching, and you need to get out the main or get to a main line, it allows the driver to go up to his switching limit or the shunt limit, and then he can come back again. You see, the basic signal system is pretty easy to understand. Everyone works on the same system. Diverging, well, I think our diversion to going to another track, diversion of the main line, is very similar to what they use in England instead of what they have in the United States. That's in my state. But you go down to Melbourne, they've actually got going west in the South Australian out to Perth, they've actually got the American signalling system. You go up to Queensland, up the north, up towards the Great Barrier Reef, they've got the European signalling system thrown in. So I'm just going to, I think the way I'm looking at the moment and looking at the logic and the signalling and whatnot that's available and what's going on, I think I'm going to just keep it straightforward and simple.
Way to do it. The way we have the signalling for our British trains here, we've just got two lights, go, stop, red and green. That's the two lights is all we've got on our signalling.
Yeah, but you still got the distance signal.
Yeah, we still have
run
the
your distance.
Yeah.
You're still using your distance signal. See, yeah, we do have that here on my line here, where we do have a distance signaling system, but they only do that on a single line. They don't do that on a dual line system.
They do it on a dual line system here.
On a dual line, we've got the three aspects between here and the outskirts of Sydney. We're working on the three aspects, single head. But once you hit the outskirts, we go to a double head. You basically have red and green on top, and then you have your red, yellow, and red on the bottom. Okay. But all that signal does, because it's so congested in the city area, it just gives you extra blocks. And the blocks are really, what's the word? The blocks are very close together.
Yeah, so we don't have it like that. We just have two signals, and the distance one, the way our signals are done, it's crazy the way it's done here. Yeah,
but you see, you guys have more train accidents up in England than what we've had here.
We do. We have more unders than we do. It's unbelievable. We've just had a recent one 2 days ago. We just had someone jump off a bridge on a passing train, right in front of a passing train in Leeds. That was all over the news.
Yeah, our last major train accident was the one near Melbourne. I think it was last year. No, before COVID. No, before COVID in 2019.
Yeah, I remember that one on the news.
Yeah, the high speed one.
Yeah, I remember.
That was a big cover. That's a big cover up. That one.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big cover up. That one.
Yeah.
The signals failed. That the thing, as a lot of them are saying, that the signals have failed. No one notified the train driver, and the train was going into the siding, wasn't it, at full speed?
Yeah. I've actually found a shop that's got IPA in the shop on the shelf.
Oh, jeez.
That's unusual in the UK.
Hey, Peppy. How you going?
Hello, Peppy.
Yeah, no, we. I forgot what a hobby shop looks like. Been so long.
Our hobby shop doesn't stock it, but our paint suppliers have started stocking the IPA on the shelf.
Yeah.
They never used to. I went in off chance, and I seen it on the shelf. I'm looking, I'm thinking, huh? And then when I asked over it, they go, yeah. I said, I've got a train set. I've got a model railway. It's ideal for cleaning track. And he just looked at me. I said, I'll be telling a couple of people I know that you've got it on the shelf.
You know, there are items. There's a couple of hobby shops I go to, but one in particular. If I see a rare item up there, it's like, I don't tell no bastard. You know, when you go to a bookshop or a library, you want that particular book.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, you used to hide it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I do with some of the stuff that a couple of hobby shops. I just, that one now. Where can I hide it amongst these stock? And I'll come back next week and pick it up.
I've just ordered me footbridges for my model shop. They've got to be scratch built as well, so the kit form.
Are you going to add some CSX signals, Dave?
CSX signals? I don't know. I want to get some signals. I don't really know exactly what.
What is that? I've been looking at the ones.
I have to research them. I don't really know like the difference in like signals, like what railroad uses what styles and stuff like that. You know.
I see Atlas has got a interesting signaling system which will be easy to convert over.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That stuff is so expensive, though. You know, obviously you got to get a little at a time. That's all right, Joe. Take the dog out, man.
Well, someone's got to make them more affordable.
Yeah.
Catch you later, Joe.
Yeah, see you, Joe. Take care of yourself. Stay safe during the day.
Yeah,
dog wants to go to play.
Probably see him in a stream along the way.
Yeah. That's not nice to talk about his mistress like that. Better be careful, his wife might be watching.
Whose wife?
Oh, nobody's. Yeah. No, it'd be good if someone can come up with them affordable signals. The guy that does the HA signals here, the Australian prototype, one signal is an average $40 Australian.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I saw somebody did. You know, you go on YouTube, you see all kinds of stuff. I can't remember who I watched, but somebody was actually installing that Atlas system Yeah, it looks interesting, but the problem with me is I need to. My mind works in simple ways. I got to break everything down to the simplest form as I can, and then I can work from there. If I can't understand the basics of it, and that goes with anything, not just signaling, not just like any kind of basic wiring. Like we're talking about these tortoises and stuff, and I'll get the basic, toggle wiring, and then I'll start to add in the LEDs for the lighting. And so, I have to but I have to break it down and simplify it. And I'll watch all kinds of videos, and I'll find the one that makes it the most simple in my mind. You know what I mean? And I think we all do that.
The way I see the way I look at like I've been looking at the Atlas system, and it's reasonably easy because it pretty much does it itself.
Does it?
When you look at how you connect the wiring or whatnot, it's not that complex.
Yeah.
Even if you got by their own signals, I mean that's the expensive part. You got to fork out the money for it. But the basics is, it's a lot. It is one of the easiest that I've seen.
Yeah. What's that for, Jason? What I was talking about with the railroads? Which ones? Can you share? Yeah, hang on.
Geez, I didn't save it. I mean, the one that I looked at with the Atlas one. Let's see. Oh.
Manual sensor automatic.
Even the NCE one is interesting. I don't know. I'm still doing my research on it. I mean, one's going to be easier than the other.
Hey guys.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
But then again, we can get this guy here with the beard to come around and give us a hand,
Yeah.
All right. So, and I'm driving, by the way. So if I'm not looking at the camera, I apologize. And of course, I'm not going to be able to read chat. So signaling, and I'm sure Split Rock 323 can attest to what I'm about to tell y'all. So if you are wanting your model railroad to have signaling on your layout, you have to have two things. First thing, you got protection, because the signals determine or tell the train if a block is occupied or if it's vacant. Especially if you're just doing basic auto block signaling or ABS. If you're doing CTC, that's where it's dispatcher controlled. The other thing you have to have is your turnout control. Now, for me, of course, I've got all the decoders that I'm putting in place to make all this happen, but I'm using JMRI Panel Pro to fully control everything. So I've got my NCE BD20s connected to an AIU01, and that tells JMRI that, hey, this block is occupied, so the signals that are protecting that block are going to be red no matter what. And then I've also got, the NCE switch 8s, which it doesn't tell JMRI what the position of the switch is until you actually click on it. But it will determine if the switch is open, then it's going to tell the signal that, okay, you can be whatever color you need to be, depending on what the next block is. So signals protect blocks, but they also protect turnouts. So, and that's the main thing to keep in mind on that. And depending on the side of the turnout, depends on if you need a double head or a single headed signal. So that's just signaling in a gist, as if you're wanting to get it set up on your layout. So, yeah.
This is the issue we have here in Australia, though, Jason. So when you talk about turnouts, like with the Australian system here, we can actually have the 3 light system with the red, yellow, and green, but we can still have a turnout with that one single head, because the amber ends up being, or your yellow light becomes a flashing light when it turns that for your diverging track. If you know what I mean.
Earlier when I messaged Google custom signaling systems. That guy, he custom makes signals, no matter what type you want. He can make the G style, the D style, searchlight, which is what I'm going to be going to, is the searchlight. I know Chuck was asking what type of signals I have. I've got one Atlas double-headed G style signal. That's where it's like the lights are on a circle placard, but they're like in the shape of a triangle. So that's what they call the G style. Very modern is D, which is where you got the lights in a row. And so I've got a few of those, and those are BLMAs, which are no longer in. They got bought out by Atlas, and I will tell you, since Atlas bought out those BLMAs, the Atlas quality is crap compared to the BLMA. It's like the detail portion of it. Atlas is very plasticky, where BLMA was like laser cut metal. So, you know, you take it with what it is, but they're all LEDs. You just have to have a signal. They use RR circuits, which allows for two heads. So you can either use that one decoder to operate two individual signals, if it's a single-headed mast, or it will operate one double-headed mast. Now, going to triple-headed, that gets a little more confusing, and I think that's where it's all based on speed regulation. So, but I plan on going over that a lot more in detail on my next episode of Sidetrack Sunday, because I've had a lot of people ask me about signals. I'm not a professional on it, so I might be asking for some outside help on that by maybe a railroad employee here or there. I know a few, so I'll probably get some help on that. But other than that, that's just kind of that's my plan. I mean, it sounds very complex and convoluted at first, but once you understand the basics, then it's much easier to understand. But like I said, each country has their own separate rules. And sometimes, like back in, go back in the 60s, when you had over 100 Class 1 railroads in the United States, a lot of them had similar rules, but some of them had minor differences. So it requires doing a lot of research.
But see, our block system that we got here is a basic block system that goes on the which goes on in the US. But in my state here, we got the D style signals. Down in the south, we've got the searchlight signals. One's up north, up in Queensland. Well, they got a combination of both British and European signalling system, but we don't worry about them because they don't want to go standard gauge, so we don't worry about them. But we still got like our block system and the signalling for turnouts and whatnot. We are slowly getting to the one standard, because in Australia we had something like 6 different signalling standards.
Right.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I have a friend of mine, and he's like, if he drove a train from, say, from South Australia and New South Wales, they had to change crews at the border. But now, because they're doing the same standard, they can go through any part of the system.
And I think that's pretty much how it is today. Is, as far as the United States go, I can't really attest to like Canadian Pacific, Canadian National, and Ferromex, but there's a FRA mandated standards. There might be, like I said, minor difference. Like, for example, Southern Pacific, if you were doing a yard approach, they would have a lunar, which is it's like a whitish blue color. And they called it lunar because it looked like the moon. So that's when they called it a lunar. But that signal is not really used anymore, and it's been replaced with a flashing red. So,
Right.
like I said, you know, you got so many different colors. You got your red, green, and amber. The US, they don't call it yellow. It's amber for some reason.
Amber.
So
Yeah.
red, green, and amber. You've also got a flashing red, a flashing green, and a flashing amber. And if it's a double-headed mast, then you got so many different rules applying on that as far as like, okay, well, you got a red over green or a red over yellow, a red over red, which is just means you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
But you might have a green over red, you know, a flashing yellow over yellow. You know, they all have different type of rules, and like JMRI, if you hook your layout up to it, it does all the logic for you. You just have to set it up, and it does get pretty time consuming on the setup.
Tell me about it. I've been working on it all afternoon. I'm just still trying to get my head around it.
I've had it set up
my
once.
trains where they just turn the knob and the trains run.
Yeah.
I was just been experimenting because I wanted to do I wanted to try out the JMRI and to get some automation going.
Right.
I will be putting the JMRI on the loft layout though, I think, because it's a massive layout to operate by hand. I think the loft layout will go DCC.
So it's either you do that or you do the old school method and you connect them to a 4-way toggle switch. You know, where you've got one common and you got 3 different colors, and then you have to go and manually, you know, set your signals to the aspects that you want them to. But you know, that would be a pain, I would think.
Yeah.
Looking at that, I've got the old triangle ones that you can do by toggle switch, and I think I was going to do them, and then I'm thinking it's going to be more than a headache's worth.
Yeah. And so, like I was saying, the Atlas ones, Atlas bought out BLMA, which BLMA made some great signals. I've got 5 of them myself, but they're all D-styled. Atlas took them and turned them into G-style, but it's all plastic, so that way they could save a buck. Yeah. Where BLMA was like super detailed. Oh, absolutely. Because they sell them for the exact same price that BLMA sold for, but you know, it was the quality is not as good. It's not as detailed. So it's kind of like you've got Athearn Genesis making these really, really nice locomotives, and then another company buys it out, and the quality you're getting is Athearn ready to roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the difference between an Athearn engine and a Walthers engine.
Well, see, and then, you know, like an Athearn Genesis and a Walthers Proto, they're pretty nice. Same with Scale Train's rivet counters.
Yeah.
But when you look at Athearn ready to roll, they're okay. Roundhouse is even worse. That's like the bottom of the tiers, Athearn Roundhouse. And then, of course, you got Walthers Mainline and Trainline. I can't remember which one is better than the other on that one.
I think Mainline
is
better above Trainline. Yeah, Trainline is the bottom of the barrel, I think, for them.
Yeah, the Mainline's got,
Like what John says here, you know, I'm going to be the main operating person here. I'm probably not going to have like big operating sessions. But if I'm going to do signaling, like you're saying, Jason, I may not have JMR running everything, like running the whole layout, but I want to be the signals I want to be running, like automated. You know what I mean? I don't want to be flipping toggles for signals. I don't mind flipping switches for turnouts, you know. That's fine, but it's like I want the signals automatically change. Of course, if I'm going to do that, I'm probably have to have the signals automated too, like with JMRI.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's where block detection comes in. You got to know where you put your blocks at, because a block is just basically a representation or a group of track. It's so that way like if you got 20 miles of track, with no turnouts in it, you could leave it as one block, but then that means you can only fit one train in a 20-mile section. Trains are typically, they're longer than a mile, but not like 2 or 3 miles. Now, of course, now that they're doubling trains up, it might be 2 or 3 miles. Don't get me wrong. But you could take that 20-mile section of track, break it up into, say, 4 or 5 segments or 4 or 5 blocks. So that way now in that 20-mile stretch, you're not fitting one train, you're fitting 4 or 5 trains.
That makes sense.
And then
here again, you got to know where they're at, so you know what's in what block.
Right. And then that's where dispatch comes into play. One of the things I was researching, so I was like, I'm trying to build my model railroad for 1960. And I knew there was signals in 1960, but a lot of railroads were called dark, meaning they didn't have signals. They still worked off of times tables. For a good example would be like Robert the Flying Crow. He's modeling the Minden sub. It's the Kansas City Southern Minden sub, which is the old Louisiana and Arkansas short line that they acquired years ago. Yeah. And in 1976, they did not have signals on that line. It was considered a dark line. They worked strictly off of times tables, which that's where the classification lights on the front of your locomotives would come into play, because that would determine if you had, your regular train on the time, or if you had that train was broken up into sections. That's why you would see some of the locomotives with green classification lights on the nose. And that was to let a train in the siding know that, hey, there's another section coming right behind me in about, 10, 15 minutes. And then if you saw a white, then that would tell you, oh, well, this train's not on the times table. This is an extra. So, and that's how the railroads back then would be able to navigate, like a single main with passing sidings based on times tables. But when I was doing some research, I found an article and I shared it with a few people. And I want to say I might have shared it at the end of my last Sidetrack Sunday after the contest was over, including the signals that I'm selling too. That the Cotton Belt was actually one of the first railroads that went to CTC. I had no clue. Like they showed the searchlight signals with a FT unit that's in a Cotton Belt FT unit that's in the gray and yellow scheme, which would have been in the 40s and the 50s. Oh, wow. So now that's like, okay, well, I guess I do need signaling on my layout because it was all CTC controlled and their dispatch was in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and I had no clue about that. And that's where I grew up. So Pine Bluff controlled all 121 miles of that line as far as CTC. So with not just signaling, but interlocked turnouts, meaning that the conductor did not have to get off the train to throw a turnout, let the train pass, and the trainman and the caboose would have to, line it back up. It was all controlled by dispatch.
Interesting.
So, and I plan on sharing that. Yeah, I plan on sharing that on the next Sidetrack Sunday.
Yeah.
So, or my next Sidetrack Sunday. I don't know what Ray's doing Sunday night, but yeah.
Yeah, he probably don't know
either. he just doesn't. He'll just go with the flow, won't he? Know him, Ray.
I mean, last month they talked about Hooters, so.
Hooters.
Yeah.
And then that's a bad thing to talk about, but I guess I don't know if it's appropriate for model railroading or not. Unless you got a model one on your layout.
Yeah, he ended up getting one. He ended up. Someone sent him one, and I don't think he's released that video yet. Or I think he did release the mail call, but I don't think he knew who it was from at the time, and we found out who it was from.
Yeah, he's done the
he
mail call.
He didn't say who it was. He didn't say who it was, but I know somebody looked at it on the actual day that was mentioning there was 2 there, and all of a sudden there was only 1. So I'm not going to mention any names because we'll just leave it, for the room.
I think he might be following up on that this Sunday. So, but I don't know. He hasn't really mentioned much.
No.
So
I thought about doing something like that just for like an interesting little scene, maybe out of sight of little eyes, like some guys will have like actual strip clubs and stuff like that. You could. Some of your European companies will make the little figures and stuff, a little provocative kind of figures,
Well, you can get figures from Nock and Fowler and whatnot, no problems, and fix it up. But what would be interesting to do is which I was actually thinking about the other day, since the Hooters keeps coming up, is if you research and have a look at what the original Hooters restaurant used to look like, it was only a little tin wooden shack down at Key West. And that's where it all started from. And I know the one in Spartanburg, the one that we had there, was almost similar to it. It wasn't a fancy restaurant. It was more like a fancy shed, basically.
Before it became so commercialized,
Yeah, before it became a chain.
Yeah, when they sold it off, it became a crazy chain, and it just went down the ground.
Well, guys, I hate to run, but I just got to my destination, so I just got to get in here and try to get a few things done. But I just wanted to hop on and just kind of give you the gist of the signaling aspect, because I know a lot of people are interested in it. They want to know how it works. Yeah. And I've had it working on a previous layout. I've actually got videos showing. I've only got one on my channel, but I've got some that are stored elsewhere that actually shows the trains going through the blocks and the signal's automatically changing.
Yeah.
So
I'll throw you an email, Jason, and show you what our signaling system works like over here, so you can get an idea what I'm up against.
Okay.
I'll throw you an email to show you what it's like.
Sounds good.
Well, I appreciate it, Jason. It definitely was helpful.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be picking your brain. You ain't getting away that easy. I know how to get away with it now.
Brian, he just opened up the gate for himself now.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and he has. He's just opened up the gate where he's gonna well pick his brain.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's just.
That's why I'm going to do it on Sidetrack Sunday, so that way I can fill a lot of people at the same time. So if you got questions for signaling, just wait till my next Sidetrack Sunday.
Oh, I'll be watching that, because I want to try and do signaling on Anfield Road.
So, all right, guys.
All right,
I'm out of here. Take care.
Bye. See, Justin, I've got an idea what I'm going to do, but it just trying to get it to everything to connect up the top here, because I have done the signaling system before in the past, but the thing up here doesn't seem to be working properly at the moment, so
I need to find me signal lights. They're somewhere under me workbench, but I can't find the box of them.
Yeah. I'm
going
to probably have some kind of diamond. I don't know.
So this is one I want. This is an Australian manufacturer.
I've got something like that. The old triangle ones. They're a bit like that if I can find them, but I can't find the boxes somewhere under me layout.
Well, these are all handmade here in Australia. Guy has made that little island on the bottom. He makes these ones. He does a lot of Australian ones. Yeah. And he also does the search light ones. And that's the Australian price. So you can say it's about $20. $20 signal for you, Dave.
Yeah. That's not terrible. I mean, when you need a ton of them, it's, you just got to buy them as you go, I guess. You try to buy a ton of them unless you, I don't know, unless you get a great deal on a lot of them or something, Hey, Lynn McCurdy, how are you? Hey, it's a little early.
Well, the way I'm going to work it out, like I've only got the signals that basically come into on this section here. There's only, what I've got one that brings you in from the main, which is behind me. And
that'd be kind of cool.
Two that split at the yard on both sides, and then I've got two that actually allows me to go out towards the main.
Yeah.
Then on the main line, I'll just have the simple block system where when it's red, the train will actually stop automatically, and when it's amber, it just slows down to its speed until it gets to its destination. There is a guy. There is a guy here in Australia. I'll put a link. I'll put his video link up the next couple of days. He actually works on relays where he encrypts the signals from using the BD20s
Hey, I found the
and
box.
throws the signals back to red after the train goes through. And it works totally independent from the NCE unit itself.
Yeah.
But then again, he does that for a job.
I found it.
Look, everybody, Lee's going to give away free signals.
No. No.
The host gets first. The host gets the first dib.
They're triangle ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're the original. They're before we had before it was Hornby, it was called Triang. They're triangle ones that I'm going to try and work out how to do on my layout. But
there is another guy here in Australia, another company called, I think it's CDC Electronics.
There's the post ones with the signals on.
Oh, gee, that's nearly as old as me.
Exactly.
Looking at the bottom, I was probably older than me and Dave put together.
Yeah, well, they come with this layout. When I got this layout, when I went to they were in boxes. There's another one. I'm going to dot them round the layout.
Yeah.
Just to make it look, but I need to work out. I need to look. I'll probably find a video on YouTube for those triangle ones. I just need to look.
Actually, yeah, there was another guy I was actually looking at. He's only a young one too. He's from your area there, Lee.
Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll just put triangle signals in because they look complicated. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits where you can put wire to. I don't know if you can see that there. The little bits where you put the wire to. They look complicated there.
It was in its day.
Yeah.
Oh, those ones there. That is older than me and Dave put together. I haven't seen one of them since I was a kid. One of my friends had one of them.
Yeah, they're the ones.
They're actually came off the rails.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I want to try and see if there must be a way of wiring them up.
Well, I think I'd love to get semaphore signals, but they're just so hard to get to come by. Then they're expensive too. You know, if I actually had the opportunity to do the line that goes between me and Creepy, I'd use the old Great Western Railway signals that you guys got there, Lee.
Yeah.
Well, they actually go down like this, and then you do have the distance signals.
Yeah.
And that was really, when you look at it, it's a simple system.
It is a simple system, but with that system on our railroads, we still have a lot of unders with that system because it's the old system.
But the amount of traffic you guys have, it's a wonder they haven't adopted the system we have here in Sydney.
I know, but they don't. Even in the train stations, going into the train stations, the system is still the same. It's one way. It's always that way. It's crazy.
Hey, John, let's see, Dave, your layout would be a great platform for signals. Always cool when you have multiple blocks. Yeah, and actually, it's something I've been kind of working with Jason, as a matter of fact, is what do you call it? Like where to put my blocks. He's helping me kind of break things up on my track plan. Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize, and I think I said it a couple weeks back. He did go over my track plan with me because I had some questions on trying to make it better for operations. So we changed a few things around, and he's kind of helping me break things into where I'm going to put my blocks, which would be probably some of those areas will be where signals and that will be too. So whether he likes it or not, he opened up a can of worms. I don't know if that's the way to word it or not, but
it's basically the way it looks. It's opened a can of worms.
You're gonna dread the day you met me, man. I'm gonna bug the hell out of you now until I learn this stuff.
I remember from some of the old modelers from the club that I used to go to in Sydney. The old modelers, one of them is really good with the electronics and that. The way to work out your blocks is work out what the length of your average train is going to be, right?
Yeah.
Make that as a block or a block and a half sort of thing. So your average train length on your layout's going to be 15, 20 cars long. You make your block to about 15, 20 cars long. And you can have it actually longer. If you understand what I mean. Like, you got a big layout there, you can actually have multiple blocks together. Just work out how long you want to have it.
I've done it on, to believe it or not, on this layout. It's only 8 foot. It's only 8 foot long. But I've actually had a train from one corner to the other, and it'll run round the layout.
On my layout, I roughly worked out when the main layout gets built, I've got roughly about 8 or 9 blocks on the main line.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's going to be all right. It's going to be interesting. But there's always going to be one that's going to be in basically running slow all the time.
I can run
We're running the yellows.
the most carriages I can run, varying if it's either coal or passenger. The most I can run on passenger is 4. But if it's coal, I can run up to 20 coal trucks.
Yeah, see, I'm making my coal train on my average. I work based on my coal train because that's the longest freight cars I've got.
Yeah.
Apart from the 89 footers. I'm working on the Australian system, which is roughly about 12 cars, which is 2 packs of 6. Right?
Yeah.
Must be 2 engines on the front.
But I can't run long ones on this layout. I can in the loft, but it's 26 foot long. But on this one, the longest coal train I can do is 8. Any longer than that, and it's too long for the piece of straight itself.
Yeah, and the average passenger train is approximately 5.5 feet long.
I don't know what mine is.
That's with 5 cars and an engine on the front.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I can only do 5 cars and the engine on the front. And I usually put a guard's van on the back.
Yeah. But see, John, you don't have to have a big layout if you want to use signalling, depending how big it is. But, I mean, you don't really need a huge layout to have signalling.
No, you don't. My layout is not. My layout is only 8. My layout that I'm in front of me now is only 8x4. I'll spin the camera around in a minute, and it's got scenery on it. There we go. I've got. Well, let's get it. There's some scenery on it. There's my farm. That's a farm I've worked on.
Oh, hang on, let me make that bigger. Let's see.
That's my farm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's one corner of my layout.
Okay.
That's one corner of my layout. There is a video to do with when I done that farm because that was entered into a competition on Woodland War Scenic's website. I entered it into a competition. That's why I couldn't bring the videos out of it.
We used to have one of them trucks.
What? Oh, that cattle one.
Hey, it was meant to be a horse truck.
Yeah, it is a horse truck.
It's a Matchbox one. It's an old Leyland or AEC.
Yeah, I've got loads of Matchbox and Leslie. I've got a load of them.
Yeah, that's where I'm a little bit of a snob. I don't know. I don't like to use Matchbox and Hot Wheels and things like that.
Those ones from that era, they were actually not a bad size.
No.
From that era, they were actually good. The new ones are actually a bit big, but ones from that era, they're actually close to what they should be.
I actually found a couple of like front end loaders from the dollar store that's nice. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a British Rail, old British Rail one.
Yeah.
It's
like the trucks aren't too bad size wise. These front end loaders I found from the dollar store, actually, a Dollar Tree, and they're pretty close.
There's the old type buses.
But a lot of times, like the cars and vehicles are just too big. The only one that I have there on my layout is the family truckster from the Lampoon's Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation. That's one of my favorite movies, so I have that.
Little camper van.
I got one of them too, but
I'm looking for a Club TJ.
Hey Joe, I'll get a feeling they're too small for a Hey Joe.
Yeah.
When I put it next to my HO, that's nice.
That is nice. That I do.
When I put it next to my HO engines, like these three ones, are too small.
Where I went to get this layout from, the widow that offered me this layout, I actually got all these cars were actually all over it.
Yeah.
This one wasn't on it, but
I think you have to kind of like just pick.
Yeah,
you have to look at them individually, and you just
That's stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get to, I mean, a lot of the Matchbox ones pre-78, I think, pre-78, you can actually get away using.
Yeah. Well, that's
Leslie.
There's a Leslie bus.
That's where it got to. You've got the bloody thing. I'm missing that out of my collection. Two, in fact. Yeah.
The funny thing is if Matchbox, Hot Wheels, whatever you want, those type of companies would actually get into 1/87th scale or even smaller or whatever for end scale, 1/60th. They'd probably make a killing off of us as long as they kept them, cheap.
A lot of it changed when Mattel took them over. I think it was Mattel.
Because if they would keep them the prices that they charge, which generally was a lot less money for like a Matchbox car than to buy an actual 1/87th scale car. Yeah. If they would keep them, even if they didn't go overly detailed. I think. Of course, we're a specific market here too. Kids are playing with Matchbox cars. They're not worried about this 1/87th scale exactly. But like I've had luck with trucks and some construction equipment in that, but most of the cars are just too big. So I'm just funny about it.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to get a topper.
I have got a double decker, but I think it's in the loft, split lock. I've got boxes of cars up in the loft as well. This is only all the ones that are on there.
That'd be really cool, Jason.
Are all the ones that come with the layout.
Yeah.
This layout was going to get trashed.
Well, like I said, I think you got to kind of go, individually. Each car, you got to see. Some of them look more to scale than others,
Yeah, they do. I've got boxes of cars, and there's some of them that won't even use on the railroad because they're not to scale.
And maybe I don't want to call it a prejudice, maybe my snobbery, whatever you want to say, about it comes from when I was a kid because that's all I had on the layout. I couldn't afford anything else, so that's what I ran was, Matchbox and stuff. So maybe in my mind, I think it looks more kid-like, and I'm not trying to make it that way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it more.
I've got the road that runs
proper
around this layout, and I am going to put cars on the road, but I've got to do the road markings. But I keep doing other stuff. I need to edit me update video.
That makes sense, Steve.
Yeah.
You're really going to get the flying banana. I'm not sure what that is, but that sounds funny.
I don't know what he is. Jason's lost me. You've lost me on that one, Jason.
Flying banana. Is that a bus? What is that?
You're forgetting them on big again, Dave.
Or is that, I don't know. I don't know what that is, Jason. Now you got us.
I'm working on there at the moment. I don't know if you can see. I'm doing a load of work over on me fiddle yard. I've got an update video I'm doing a load of putting.
Oh, he said it's a yellow train that goes to the UK for rail maintenance.
Yes.
That's good.
It's basically a cleaning car. Have I got it to hand? It's a maintenance car. It's a maintenance car. Truck cleaning car.
Oh, cool.
It just hooks up to the train and you run it. You put you put IPA on the bottom and it cleans the track.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Let's see. Is S scale a little smaller than O scale? Like a little bit, or is it pretty close? Is S scale 2 rail or O scale 3?
O scale. I can't.
Well, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
Like if you could do that kind of stuff, Steve, then you can make doggone anything you would want to have. Because I find it hard to find like modern vehicles, especially ones that aren't like ridiculously priced for 187.
Oh yeah.
You know, like trucks and stuff, like tractor trailers you can find, but cars, like vehicles, you know, and I'm tempted to try those ones from the Chinese ones where you can get 50 cars for $15 or something like that. Obviously, they're not going to be that detailed. I don't know how close to scale they really are because I feel like all that stuff's oddball scales. Like it's always a little bit off, you know.
I've bought little cars. Where did they get them from? I get a lot of stuff off Wish, and I bought some cars.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of those cars off Wish. They're up in the loft.
Now, how off are they? I mean, are they way small, even like for a? Where do they measure HO there? Is it 1-1?
They don't look to scale. I wouldn't say they're to scale.
So what did you buy? Was it 1/100th? Is that what they use for scaling?
Yeah, it was one. I can't think of.
They mark it differently than what we do.
Yeah, they're not in scale for my lay. I put them on the layout. I took them out the box. I've still got them in. I put them back in the box because I don't like them. I've just put the box back on the shelf.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted.
It's not worth keeping them. I've just put them in the box and left them.
If you're maybe putting let's see.
Yeah, I need to move the camera back on
50
me.
car packs are very close, great for parking. Yeah, see, I was going to say that. Where did it go?
I'll show you some of the Australian models that just come out. The Valiant, which has been taken over by Chrysler. Oh, I lost the tyre.
Ah, that's nice. That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's
Steve, that's what I was thinking. Steve was saying those 50 car packs from China are great for like parking lots,
that's
car sales lots, junkyard even, you know, something like that even, you know, just to kind of fill up a back scene where you can, you know, like
that's
parking lots or something like that.
I've actually ripped a couple of those ones apart from Wish and made them on my scrapyard on Anfield Road. A video needs coming out of that. I built it. I never brought a video out of it. Because then it got too hot in the loft, so I had to come away from the loft for a bit.
Because that's kind of what I was thinking. It might be good for just to have the volume of cars that you would want to have, you know, like in a scene. You know, maybe you put the nicer stuff up front that people are going to see, and those will be kind of more background parking lot cars and stuff. I don't know. I'm not anywhere near that yet. I keep
No,
buying
you're
stuff that
not.
I can't even use. Yeah, you see a good deal on stuff, so it's like it kills you not to pick it up because you know what the stuff costs.
Yeah,
When you find a good deal,
exactly.
I've picked up so many things
You'll
I'm
get
nowhere
there in
near
the
ready.
end, Dave.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
see, I'm looking
I
at
know.
that
Not worried.
some Australian cars. There's a company here that's getting them manufactured with the Australian models for by Indy Pacific set, because with the Indy Pacific and the GAN, they actually have a car carrier. That was
Yeah.
their car carrier,
Yeah.
right? And they're racked up with cars on top of it to go across to the Perth to the other side and then back the other way. And for a station, for a passenger train, that's that's when it gets to here into Sydney, they get switched around. Like you have the passenger car the car carrier put on last before the engines do, and same with the GAN too. Like they hook up the car carrier in Adelaide, take it all the way up to Darwin, and then unload the cars. You can go sightseeing and come back load the car back on the train and head back home again.
Yeah.
But now the Indy Pacific was before COVID hit. It actually took three switching moves for it to depart out of Sydney.
Workshop.
Like it'll hook the car carrier on the front, be on the engine, hook that up to the first half of the passenger set, pull out and hook up to the second set.
Hmm.
And in Adelaide, the GAN, it's got 4 moves.
That's always the way you do that, though, Jason. Buy stuff you don't need, and then you have to then try and sell it off to get the stuff you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy. Once I finally get things where I can start breaking things out of boxes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably have to have like a fire sale.
I'll give you a hint, Dave. Send it over here and I'll put it on eBay here. You'll probably triple the amount of money. The way some people are bidding over here at the moment.
Oh, it's crazy. I was watching.
Yeah, that's true. I got a lot of those blue tubs.
I wanted to get a there's an engine on eBay here at the moment that I want to get the 48 class. It's painted in the green and gold. It was done for the New South Wales or this state's centenary of the railways. The only problem is the bidding at the moment is $480.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's like, it's got DCC and sound and everything else. It's $480. I reckon it's going to go about $600-700 by end of tomorrow night. But that's just a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, that's $600. That's 3 engines.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Flying Scotsman. I want to get it.
You were saying last week. You were saying that.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold that thought. You ain't getting off that easy. Where's that workbench project you had last week there, Lee? What happened to that? Did you put it back under the bench?
No. Believe it or not, I have actually got it.
Yeah, caught him out, Dave. Good one.
No, I've repaired it. But listen to it. It don't run right. I'll put the camera on the track. It's making a horrible noise. I cleaned it all up. I'm gonna put it up on the track.
Well, at least you did try. I mean.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it. I've cleaned it, everything. I'm gonna put it on track now, and you'll hear. There it is.
Yeah.
Let's turn it on. Oh, come on.
You want to pay the power bill?
Yeah.
What's gone on with me? Why is my controller not?
That's fine.
My controller's gone off for some unknown reason. No, it's making a whining noise. Why is me? Oh, me socket. gone and bust.
Rock.
Always the way when the camera goes on a train, it doesn't want to work.
Oh yeah, never fails. That never.
Yeah,
fails.
it doesn't. Yeah, but as it goes round, it's making a squealing noise. But I don't know what the squealing noise is.
Squealing noise. It's probably your gears jumped out. Jumped out.
No, there you go. I had the back off. I had the top off, and I had it going round, and it was still doing the squealing noise. It was going round, but the gears are not jumping or nothing.
Yeah, you'll probably find your pinion gear is actually come adrift.
Will it be? I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's always the way I get that with some of my trains too.
Did you get camera shy?
Yeah, that too, or get stage fright. Get them all prepared for the training show. Spend a good week or two night before, just give them a final test. Everything runs smoothly. You take it to a train show, and then they don't want to work.
Camera back there. I'm going to see why the socket's not working. I'm not giving in that easy.
There you go, the 5-finger push. Yeah, see, it works, Dave.
Didn't run that track cleaning car around. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, could be. Oh.
I don't know what all that was about. Holy moly. No, wait, that's about enough of that, Lee. I don't know if it's because you turned on your power or what, but holy God.
Yeah, it's getting a feedback.
Yeah.
I
gotta leave that off. I don't know if it's interference from his power pack or what, but oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's coming off that engine. He needs one of those rectifiers on it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he needs. The good old DC system, and the old motors,
Right, stop it.
Yeah, Johnny, it's powered by his webcam. But remember when we used to operate our trains, the old DC trains, and he used to interfere with the TVs?
What's that?
Because the signal waves that's coming off the engine when it's running, that's what's causing the noise in the microphone. It really affects the digital signal.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Yeah, no, kill him. Yeah, turn your power off.
And you gotta turn that off, Lee.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn your layout off. Buy a Honda generator. Oh no, I think it's an old Volkswagen.
That's the worst sound Dakota I ever heard.
It's British.
No. I don't know now what's going on. If it's Mike now or what? Something right there.
All he's got to do is turn his layout off, and he'll be okay. Yeah, it's still with himself.
Sorry, Lee, but man, everybody's just like everybody's ears are bleeding.
Some sort of fun for the night, didn't we? I mean, morning day.
Yeah, it woke us up. I think our ears are all bleeding now.
Yeah.
Well, you need to keep that one on the bench and keep working on that.
Yeah.
Might have pulled halfway out.
Yeah. I'd be getting one of those rectifiers and putting them on the.
A little better, but still.
Yeah.
Still not
Yeah,
good. So.
he's going to need to put a rectifier in the motor. They usually go between the two brushes.
All right, Lee, I'm going to remove you. See if you can fix that and come back.
Yeah. The good old days.
Lee getting invaded or abducted. Oh, shit.
Yeah, well.
You get anal probed here pretty soon. Alien anal probe.
Yeah, the Daleks are coming over to attack him. That's what it is.
Derelicts, yeah.
Yeah. The old Doctor Who Daleks.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Lee. You get that figured out, man. I'll bring you back up, but it was a little much. Not your fault, but it was not intentional, obviously. But
well, things like that happen.
As pretty as I am, let's bring up Artie too, so we'll see him too.
Oh, this ugly face.
So
yeah. See, I got one of the old Matchbox trucks here, and when I look at the scale of it, this is an old AEC Leyland, and it's reasonably close. This is probably about early 70s model, right? And it's pretty close to the actual HO size. When I compare it to the size of the other to the trains, it's close to the actual size what they were. But when you start going about above 78, that's when they start going out of scale.
Oh, you gotta go for the older stuff.
Yeah, you got to go for the older ones, and a lot of the flea markets, you can pick them up pretty cheaply. I noticed there's a guy here in Australia that's been selling them, and he's making a small fortune out of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. If anybody, one of these companies that actually make them, Matchbox or whatever, would actually make them as 187th, I mean, and still sell them for a reasonably cheap price.
Yeah. No, yeah. The Spritlock just asked him if I can remove the second axle. No, it's actually part. It's molded in. It's actually die cast. You see.
Yeah.
But for us, and even in England, these are actually pretty common for us to have back in the early 70s. We still have them around, but not as much. But these were, for the era that I'm on, these were common.
I seem to remember sometime in the 90s, maybe, that Kenworth had made some kind of a special construction type truck like that with the dual front axles.
Yeah, we have them here.
I don't know what they were for, some kind of specialty thing.
Yeah, they have them here.
Like for pipelines or something, I can't remember now. But I think both of those axles were steer axles in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know what the purpose was for, but because they were both have to steer, there's no way you can run that close like that. Yeah,
the front two, they were steer. In actual fact, what they used to do is for weight, and as well with the two steer at the front, it used to help them steer a lot tighter on the tighter corners.
Oh yeah, and that's what this was. It was like a special oil field type truck or something of that nature that they had made.
Yeah,
selling.
But we had them here on the coal duties doing dump work, then the concrete, and what was the other one that we used them on here quite regularly? Coal and concrete. Yeah, and some fuel tankers too when they used to go in the gas station doing deliveries. We still have them. We actually have them with the garbage trucks, the compactor trucks here. You see them around the city.
Okay.
But now here we going with a drive on the back end of it. Now we're actually going with the 3 drive axles on the back, and still having the twin steer at the front. I mean, they're pretty versatile trucks.
So they all steer? Front and rear? Front and rear steer?
No.
Okay.
Once because of the wheelbase, you don't need to, but with some of the bigger heavier trucks, the back wheels do steer, like on the big heavy cranes and that.
Yeah.
The only axle that doesn't steer is the middle one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenworth do start making. I mean, in US they do make the conventional cabs.
Yeah.
And over here they still do the cab overs. I
They
think
don't
that's
do
right.
cab overs here anymore, I don't think.
No. Well, you
My
don't
dad,
need.
my dad was a truck driver his whole life, and he had I
Yeah.
think it was a 1981 Kenworth cab over. It
I
wasn't
think
up and down. It wasn't a sleeper cab, double
Yeah.
bunk, but it was a double wide cab. So it had like a bigger bed in it. It was a very nice truck.
Okay, Steve. Well, I think the sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Steve. I do appreciate
He's
you
probably
stopping
been
in.
exterminated.
Yeah, I think he's gone. They got
Yeah,
him.
he's
Took
been
him away.
exterminated.
Maybe it was Drew Steele.
I
Maybe he
think
took him.
I think the US market stopped doing the cab overs 82? 1982 or 1983. I'm just
Well, they
trying
were
to
real
think.
popular on the fleet trucks. When they first came out with the 53-foot trailers, they had, I think for length reasons, because there were length laws or something, they had to go with the cab over so they can get
Yes.
to distribute the weight and everything and still be able to make the turns and all that stuff.
That's
And,
what we still got.
Schneider and like JB Hunt, they had whole fleets of them. We drove for, when I first started with my dad, the company we drove for was, what was the name of that company now? Burlington Motor Carriers. They had all cab over fleet. A lot of them did then. Then they started going all back to conventional. So
Yeah.
okay, Lee, that's cool. The aliens didn't actually get you.
Yeah. Well, I remember.
Now my uncle had an old international cab over, the TransStar 2 or something like that. TransStar.
Yeah, the TransStar.
They were kind of weird looking, but I know like Schneider had a bunch of those and big fleets.
Yeah, see, we had the Australian version after the TransStar. We've had what we call the Atkinson, which was a complete fiberglass, a different style. It looked like a big box.
Yeah.
Just a shame no one's actually ever done a HO model of it. If I can actually get a 3D scanner or whatnot, I'd love to find one and do a 3D scan of it because they were popular trucks over the year. They were real beasts. But I know the US, I think they stopped in 82 or 83 when they stopped the cabos because they started doing a different interior on the inside. They had the wraparound dash, and that's where you guys got rid of it.
Yeah.
Here in Australia, we're still building them now, and when you look from what they were from the mid-70s and late 70s, now that you pretty much got a European comfort inside them.
Yeah.
You don't have the cowling you've got to climb over to get into your sleeping bunk. It's all walk through.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Jason, if I remember right, my dad was telling me years ago, old man Walmart, Sam, whatever his name was, either married or somebody married into JB Hunt or vice versa, and they had some kind of deal worked out, and then something to do with let me rethink that. JB Hunt and it was one of the railroads had some kind of family ties, and they bailed out. JB Hunt was bailed out by somebody. I don't know if it was Walmart or one of the railroads. I can't remember who. And they had agreed to have to put so many trailers on trains and stuff like that.
Mm.
But like I said, it gives me I can't remember the whole story that I was told back then. Now, whether there's any truth to it or not, I'm not sure. So my dad had heard, being out there on the road and stuff. That's some kind of rumor.
But see, that's an interesting thing what John's saying there about the long nose one that gives more protection. In actual fact, Kenworth done a study between the cab overs and the conventional ones, and they actually found that the conventional are actually more dangerous than what the cabos are in an accident, especially in a head-on accident. Because 9 times out of 10, they've actually found that the engine and everything else actually went through the driver.
Yeah, I was gonna say it ends up.
Yeah. But I mean, the technology on
I could be wrong on that, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, the technology and the design on the cabs and whatnot, they've changed a lot over the years too. I mean, I think after the accident that I've been in just recently last year and whatnot, I honestly feel safer in a cabo than a conventional.
Mm-hmm.
To be actually honest.
I thought it was cool, man. I liked the cab over. Now he had the motor there in the middle, so it kind of took a lot of space there. But I'm sure there's ways around that.
Yeah.
But then he had got rid of that. And he bought in 1989. He bought a brand new Kenworth. He called it the anteater. When they first came out, that slope code and everything. It was like. He had that, and then later on he bought the same kind of truck, but he had the up and down bunk and everything, and the walk-in bunk, and it's pretty cool.
That was the best invention out. The walk-in bunks, better than going through that little peephole in the back window.
Yeah. I remember that too. I remember them having that.
I don't think I'll be able to fit through one anymore. They must have a factory or second.
Yeah, Walmart's big thing, if I remember way back when, was they were American made. I still remember the commercials. Everything had American flags on their boxes and everything. They're all made in America, and then they got away from that stuff.
It all comes down to profit at the end of the day, or the bean can.
Yeah, I'm sure, But I think that was their thing, competing with Kmart and those type of places. And that's one of the things that kind of, I think, helped build their brand originally, was the fact that they were made in America, or so much of it was made in America.
Kmart and Target were the ones that actually started doing the globalization. Well, we got Target and Kmart over here, and I don't know, it's...
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably when the old man died.
Yeah.
That's what happens. The original, the kids take it over, whoever takes it over, and then it becomes nothing but what the board wants, what the profits are, and give a shit about us and about, and then people want to pay cheap. They don't want to pay money for stuff. So, I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I don't always necessarily, buy the American made one. I mean, I try, but sometimes it's just the price kill you on some stuff. But now look. Now it's biting us in the backside because you can't get chips. I mean, you can't even buy a car right now. They can't get the computer chips and stuff.
Exactly right.
Everything's made over there.
I mean, you guys still lucky that you're producing your own oil and it's all owned by your own country. I mean, you have a look what's happened over here. It was all sold off. I mean, the oil that we got in our ground is not owned by us. It gets bought by companies overseas, and we got to buy it back as gas. And we're paying an average between $6 to $7 a gallon for gas here.
Oh my God! Right now it's up around $3 a gallon here, and we're not happy about that. Well, here in Ohio, I mean, I know it's like $2.80, $2.90, $3, $3.10.
Back home, down home, I think they're paying about $2.60, $2.65 at home, and I mean.
Right here in Central Ohio. I'm up by Cleveland, Wigwag. I live just outside of Cleveland.
Yeah. But I mean, it has, for us here in Australia, a lot of our they sold off a lot of our manufacturing away. We used to make our own cars. We used to make our own, as I said, we had our own fuel. There's a lot of things we used to make ourselves. They come back down to the dollar. So these companies, most of it to China, now we got to buy it all back.
That don't even make sense to me, Artie.
It doesn't.
Why would? doesn't the country, I mean, yeah, you ultimately, okay, this is my house. I'm paying for this house. But ultimately, the country, the state, the city, whoever owns this, is their land, basically. I mean, I guess they could eminent domain and take it anytime they want. So for a company to own them, I don't know. I don't understand it.
Well, one of the former governments sold a lot of the property off to.
James, welcome back.
Yeah, James, you're back again. They're trying to balance the books and everything else, and trying to do more spinach on the country, but came back and bought them on the backside.
Yeah, I
Big
don't
time.
understand it. All right, listen, I'm going to pause. I mean, you guys can keep. I got to go get rid of some of this coffee. You guys want to stay on? I can stay on a little bit longer.
Unless you don't want to stay longer, but I'm just about ready to call it a night on my end.
All right. We can end it. I mean, I got things I got to get ready to start doing anyways, but I got my teeth are floating, man. I got to get to the restroom here in a minute.
Yeah, go and do that, and then we'll sign off, eh?
All right, let me mute this cam.
I'll hold the fort for you. So now we can talk behind Dave's back. So what are we going to talk about? Hey, Mystic, how are you? Yeah. Yeah, it is a good stream. Yeah, we're nearly 2 hours in. We talked about a lot of things, most of the train topics. So today I got the news that for me, I'll be getting an operation done probably the end of next month. That's been resolved. So I'm going to try to get a lot of loose ends of my layout going, because I'm not going to be able to do much for at least 3 months while I'm going through the healing process. So yeah, I'm going to send you an email too to show you Jason, I'm going to send you an email later on tomorrow to show you how our signaling system works here, which I'm going to try to adopt to my layout. But I don't think some of the components that I want for my layout to finish off, I don't think a lot of it's going to come in on time so I can get everything done. You done more track, James, so you're going to get the expertise on it, and you can come down and give us a hand to expand mine. Yeah, no, everything's slowly getting together. I put the JMRI out to get the switching going. What's that? Up to the panel. Yeah, it must be up on your panel. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna tie it up so I can get a bit of train operation going while I'm recovering. And yeah, I might be able to do the panel up. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to have a look. Yeah. Wi-Fi tracks. Ah, that's interesting. I wonder what that is, James. Wi-Fi tracks. I'm just using, well, what I'm using here is just going to be basic electronic system. I found out today some of the items not going to be coming. So yeah, it's going to be, with the way times are, it's going to be challenging to get things done. Wi-Fi tracks from Australia. Oh, okay. That'd be something like what we got down the club here. Yeah, I don't know. I get too much interference with Wi-Fi here. I don't know what it is, whether it's because of steelworks or what, but yeah, I get a little too much interference here with Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi doesn't work very well. So, yeah, what else have I got? Oh,
All right, stop talking about me now.
okay. I thought you drowned.
She won't let me put a bathroom in the basement. I want to put a bathroom down here. And walk
What,
upstairs.
The wife won't let you.
No.
You've got to have the priorities. Maybe she wants you to come upstairs.
Well, yeah.
To make
She won't
sure
let me put I want to put a mini fridge down here. She won't let me do that. She says, you got to come up for air once in a while. Like, I don't know about all that, but coming up for air.
You got to put it this way. It's either I have a bar fridge downstairs, or I'll go to the bar myself. I'll go down the road to the Hooters bar.
See, James, that's why I'm trying to put one down here. Bathroom.
Well,
That's all right.
Well, you got to have your essentials. You got to have your bathroom, and you got to have your bar fridge.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's okay. It's all right.
You'll sneak it in there eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. You just hide behind a curtain and whatnot underneath the bench there, and you won't know the difference. Yeah.
I bring one of those little urinals home from the hospital.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
You know?
Oh, then again, you got your big Gatorade bottles, those big ones. You know, at least you got the big holes in them. You know.
That's right. That's right.
Big. What are they? A quarter two? Yeah, that's enough to get you.
And you got the screw cap on there, so you keep it all in one spot, and they don't spill over.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, Lee, take it easy, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead too. I think
it's Friday morning here already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be, huh?
Yeah, it's 12:30 here. What's that? The shoe may want to put.
Yeah, I gotta get some things done. I got a haircut here at about 11:30. I gotta be there. It's about an hour from now, but I can grab some breakfast, or I guess it'd be more almost like lunch now, brunch. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for stopping in, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. Thanks, guys.
It's just fun, man. I don't know if, you know, we get a little long and stuff. That's fine. You know, when I have time, I don't mind it. But it's been fun. I enjoy this. Just chit chatting, you know. And I've learned a lot, you know, especially like when you pop in, Jason pops in. I do appreciate you coming in. I think you've been in almost every week. I've had this show going on already.
I've got nothing else.
As we did the Dave and Artie show, make it Comedy Central.
Well, I haven't
and Lee too. Lee's been in almost every week too.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm not working at the moment, so I've got to kill some time.
Yeah.
I'm killing some.
Definitely makes it easier when you don't have to go to work. And as far as doing things like this goes, you know.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a different story after New Year.
Yeah, that's all right.
But then again, I do want to get over there for May next year. Since we got that thing going on over there at Sturgis and that, so I do want to get over there. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. And I'll try to sleep as long as Greg doesn't do anything strange and doing his war dances in Melbourne, we'll be right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get through this stuff sooner than later, and we'll be back to the way things should be.
It's going to happen. It's got to happen. We just got to keep our wits together, you know, and we all got to work together at this. It's not just each individual country and whatnot. We all got to stick together to make this work. Otherwise, it's never going to stop. It's not even going to stop if we don't work together.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
All right, guys. Well, let's call it a day. Call it a night. Call it a day. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to refer to it as.
Well, I'm going to try to give another stream on Sunday night, well, morning your time.
Yeah, I'll try to stop in. You were having issues last week.
Yeah, they dug up the the internet cable a few streets away.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped in, but you weren't able to stay up or something. Ended up being.
They dug the cable up.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah, they didn't have a permit to dig up the driveway, so they dug it up and damaged the cable and buried it, and it was one of the main cables. So they fixed it up the other day. So the internet's working better.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any problems with you dropping out today or anything on this stream.
No.
So I know Greg kind of took it over the other day and ran with it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. But we got it sorted, so now I can actually try I'm going to try something different so I can get multiple cameras going. So let's see what happens in the next couple of days.
That's something we could talk about, because talk about that on your show, or even next week on this, we can talk, because I want to find a system of cameras that aren't going to break the bank that I could put around the layout. So when we're doing this and a train's running or something, I could show different views.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do too. But Heath is not sharing his secret. Heath's not sharing his secret. We might have to hijack Anthony Dodge. He's closer to you. You might have to go around and see Anthony and bribe him to show us how he's doing it.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
You can actually follow a train around without having to follow it around with your camera, You can actually follow it from site to site and see it coming through cool scenes. Like, I would definitely put one here in my bridge scene and then coming in out of like different areas, So,
yeah.
Hey, Jasco, we're actually getting ready to sign off, but thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk sometime Sunday.
Okay, we'll do.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to check out here and Artie's live stream. Well, Eastern time for me, it's somewhere between 5 and 6 in the morning. I don't know what time he actually does it over there, like what time it is actually there. But I usually, I think I set my alarm and got up actually so I can catch him. It was like 5:30 or 6 I got on. Eastern Standard Time. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go have some breakfast and get ready to go to my haircut. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks everybody for stopping in. I do appreciate it. I'm having a great time doing this. Hope you guys are too. I know sometimes it starts out a little bit slow, but I always find something to talk about, and that's the fun part about it. And we try to keep it as much about trains as we can. Life creeps in here and there, but it is ultimately, I'd like to keep it as close to the train hobby that we all enjoy. All right. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye for now.